Yep, we are now being recorded.
Uh-huh.
That is okay. Okay. So let's see. Okay, I've now been assigned the host. Good. And I think Dan's. Let's see.
Hey, what'd you think of that terrible storm we had a little while ago?
That was something.
Oh, God.
Oh, is this just earlier, a little earlier this afternoon?
About an hour ago or so. It was pouring and windy and thunder and lightning.
Yeah, I think I heard
And
a
it
little
went
bit
on
of
for
thunder.
a long time.
I think I heard a little bit of thunder, but I don't think we got too much of it down here. I'm down in Austin, so it may have just been kind of a local thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I have a window. It's inside a balcony. And so I've never worried about keeping it closed to the rain because there's no way. The balcony is like 4 feet out. I walked over there. The wind was so strong, it was soaked. The rain was coming in that window.
Really? It's okay. We needed it. My lawn is brown, so.
I don't know. Mine's green. It's up higher than the roof of my van, so I'm not worrying about it too much. Everybody else calls it weeds. I call it a wildflower meadow. I know earlier this spring, actually, I saw a fox out in the yard, so who knows?
Wow.
Bunnies. I've been seeing a lot of bunnies.
Yeah, I've been seeing a good number of bunnies. Squirrels are obvious all the time.
We had to tie a barrel down because we had a raccoon who would go in every night.
Yeah.
Open the barrel very nicely, very neatly, take what it wanted and close the barrel and left.
Yeah. I remember hearing about one years ago. Some family was doing the vacation thing, and they thought they had a raccoon problem because they were getting noises at like 2 a.m, and so they were put up rocks on it and tied it down, and nothing seemed to stop it. So they figured, okay, they rigged up booby trapped with a bunch of tin cans full of rocks and flash camera, and got a wonderful shot of their very dedicated and thoroughly petrified garbage collector.
I believe it. I believe it. My father put looks like a little vise. It's about yay big. He screwed it on.
Let's see. We now have Jason. And
It gives us 4.
Jason, that gives us 4.
Jason, okay.
Okay. And Dina is absent because of the meeting. So I guess that means we can get going. And let's see. So
6:04. I'm going to say meeting starts at 6:04.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Now, I see we have Sergeant Mark here. And so I would take a motion to shift the agenda around to let him get through with his thing so that he can go off and do whatever else he needs to get done.
Sounds good.
Anybody, any objections?
Nope.
Okay, so let's see. We've got here. Looks like we have the Kennedy Meadows question still. So we've got the Kennedy Meadows, and Mark Al was going to talk with them management about enhanced enforcement and the management company about adding more spaces. I don't know if you've been doing any more enforcement there, Sergeant, or not. I'm not hearing you. You need to work on your mic. I can see your lips moving, but I can't hear a word you're saying. Oh, you're muted now. Nope, that's muted. Something is still not doing right.
Can we out at the Newtown Grill on a check-in location, please? Received. Dorica.
Okay, I'm hearing your radio. Oops. I think he's rebooting. Okay. Well, until Sergeant Mark comes back, go back up to the beginning. Do we have any announcements?
No.
Sound like? Okay. Open mic. Anybody? Anything for open mic? Okay. Item 3, we have upcoming contracts and 5-year plan. Andrew, this looks like your topic.
What was that again?
We've got item 3 on the agenda, need input for upcoming contracts and 5-year plan. And we need to have the COA bus service, and you were going to keep us updated on when we need to provide input on that.
Yeah, we have not gotten any time for public announcements yet, but I expect to see them. So if you could just continue this item, and if anybody has some specific ideas, you can email me, and I'll make sure that they get into the public record.
Okay.
So we're not asking disabled to be welcome to the center as on the whole, right? It's for transportation.
This is just the transportation aspect for,
Okay.
Yeah,
as I understand it. We may have other stuff going on as well. So right now we don't have anything else. So we're going to continue the item and email Andrew if he has any specific things that we want to get into the record. Okay. Do we have anything else we need to say on that?
Not on that. I think there's a later agenda item for me.
Okay. Only a couple of them. Cole Roush Park. Do we have anything as an update on that meeting? I know you were talking about it.
I was there. They said they were going to come up with some plans, which I have not seen any notice of yet. So I
Okay.
think this is another one to continue.
There's a good attendance there. I thought there was a good amount of people, and a lot of sort of brainstorming in terms of what they could do with the space. And I think for us, we just sort of got to see what those plans are and see if it's whatever they're proposing, it has the right accessibility.
Right. Okay, so that's basically a continue item. Okay. Anybody been to the senior center lately to tell if we've got our striping yet?
No, I haven't.
I have no idea.
Mm.
Do you want me to take a look?
If you could, it'd be handy. It's a headache, but no problem.
Yeah, I know it's kind of been on there for a while, and I don't think we've had Mark recently.
Yeah.
So just to make sure, was it just the striping that was needed there, or is there?
Right.
Yeah,
Supposedly, they put up
they-
the signs, but the whole lot kind of needs to be repainted. And according to the last time we heard from Mark Al, he said that it was going to be restriped when they kind of did all
When
of
the
the lots in
stones.
town. That it was basically, kind of they're going to be doing all of the municipal lots all same contract and time or whatever. And so I don't know that that's happened yet or not.
And that's right next to the library, right?
signs. Yes.
Yeah.
The signs went up like right away.
Yeah. That's my understanding. So, okay.
All right. I'm going to be going over to the library, so I will take that action.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
We have gazebo status, and that supposedly plan has been approved. And so I don't think there's anything that really we have to do on that other than just kind of, is it built yet? Item 7, we had the question from Home Kennedy Meadows assisted living thing, and I mentioned it to Sergeant Mark, and he seems to have gone away and not come back yet.
Okay. So no update, basically.
No update yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And probably same deal with O'Connor's.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that whole O'Connor's in Town Center business. I've got a note that they've got a safety plan, but I don't have any idea on status or anything on the back lot.
Manja. Is that what it's called? Was just on fire.
Yeah, that's Manja.
What happened there?
I don't know. It was on fire. Like
Yeah,
2
they
weeks
said
ago?
no. Everyone got out. No, there were no injuries, but the place it's closed, temporarily closed.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll make a note that they're closed. Item
Which
9.
I don't think has anything to do with the plan, but just an FYI.
Right. Boston Road construction passability for pedestrians.
Mm.
I've been trying to avoid going up and down Boston Road.
Yeah, I don't even want to drive on it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a nightmare. No.
I have started to listen to the town managers, excuse me, acting town managers post on Facebook where he goes through what they expect on Boston Road. And I didn't get through it, so I didn't hear what the timing was for the sidewalks, but the project will last until they get the final touches done. They expect in June 2026, and they're having a fair,
26.
yes,
2026. My goodness.
and they're having a fair amount of difficulty timing with the utilities, which has held things up. But that's I suggest that anybody who wants to find the acting town manager's post and listen to it to get an update on the Boston Road situation.
Okay. So basically no update on that either. Okay.
Well, I guess what I would take from that is that they may fix the pedestrian accessibility where they're working on right now, but then they're going to go rip up some other section of it. So, and it's going to be going on for a long time.
Yeah.
So, I guess just with that, so maybe we can check in if people want to look at that town manager's post. But I'm wondering what we think we can get from this.
Well, ADA specs say that they are supposed to maintain pedestrian accessibility, that they're not supposed to take away accessibility features during a construction project. They can relocate them, they can make temporary stuff, but they have to maintain the existing level.
Unfortunately, Boston Road North wasn't ADA in the past. There was no continuous sidewalk on either side. So, I don't think that, it's a very difficult thing. I think they're intending to get one sidewalk completed sooner than June of 26 and much sooner than June of 26. And and that's only the project complete with the shared use path on one side, full sidewalk on the other, all ADA accessible. But again, I did not get through the whole report, and I'm not a good conveyor of information except that it's out there.
Okay. Next one, we wanted to get an evaluation on the pedestrian light buttons at Boston Road and Trouble Cove. Any update on that?
Who was going out and they're going to check that?
That was
Dina.
Markel. Markel was going to look at it, and Dina was going to look at it, I think. But since Dina is not here, we have no idea.
So no update on that either. Okay.
Bethany Slack has not made it to our meeting. Okay. Lauren, this was a survey question on item 12. We had a survey about the Danvers Accessibility Commission survey, and Lauren was going to reach out to other disability commissions. And so Lauren is not here, so okay. Yankee Doodle table and stuff. That was you and, or that was Maria and Lauren was working on that.
Okay, so there's an update. I sent an email to Joe St. Germain, who has recently been at a few of our meetings, and I asked him about possibly having a table. Unfortunately, they have the library open that day because they have a book fair.
Right.
So it gets very loud and very crowded. And the only place that they could possibly do it was the second floor. Now, I don't know how many people want to go to the second floor, take the elevator upstairs to sit up there for
10 or 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
So I said, let me discuss that with the commission and see if that was something they want to go ahead with or just not do it at all.
I mean, if that was me and I was that nervous and upset, I would not want to go to another floor to
Yeah.
sit
down. But that's just me personally. So that's up to the committee to make that decision. Because
I
they'll
know
certainly
it's,
work with us.
yeah. I mean,
Reached out to the food pantry. The food pantry will be open that day. The only other place is that little brick building next to the Unitarian Church. But I don't know anybody there or how to get in touch with anyone. So, I mean, and at this point, it might be something just to bag till next year. We want to try again.
So are we trying to find something indoors? Is that the idea?
Yes, yes. Because it's going to be very loud outside. There's going to be a lot of people, a lot of commotion, a lot of noise. So just a little quiet space, but I really can't think of any other
quiet space in that area.
So I
But-
just want to understand, are we talking about two different things? So I thought the idea with the table was to communicate. And I thought in addition to that, we wanted to provide a quiet place for people to go. I didn't think they were the same thing.
Well, at this point,
Uh,
it would have had to be the same thing because we don't really have any type of brochure or anything for information. We have nothing. We have a banner.
right.
And
So there's really nothing to give out.
so that was going to be something we were going to work on together for
Maybe starting in September, October, November, get a brochure together, see what we want, send it over to the tech, have them make it for us. Then we would be prepared for things that are upcoming in town. So that was my
We
understanding.
only want to do this if there's something to give people.
Well, when you go to people, they want information. They want something. Most tables that you go to, like St. Anne's and the churches, might have a craft for the kids or a brochure that says who they are and what they are with their mission statement. We don't have that. So we have nothing. That's the purpose of Yankee Doodle Day. People have their tables to say who they are and have something to give them with their name on it or whatever. We have absolutely nothing.
But couldn't we just print up like a one pager and print it ourselves?
We
Just-
could. Who has the printer and who's gonna man the table? And we have to get a table. We have to have a space. Where are we going to put it at this point?
Yeah, it sounds like we don't have enough groundwork really to do very much this time around.
Yeah, I don't think so.
If we want to, then that's something we should
Get in play.
I mean, I know they used to have conference rooms up on the second floor. I don't know whether they would be available or not if we wanted to have a quiet space, but it's still, how would we let people know that there was the quiet space anyways?
Right.
Um,
So I think that's something that we need to have our information, all our ducks in a row if we want to accomplish these things. And we have no doubt at this
okay.
point. But like I said, I did reach out to him. That was what he said. So I don't know how we want to go about that. And how would we let people know that right now? We don't.
Yeah.
So that's just me. I don't know about anybody else.
Well, does anybody else feel we have a burning desire to be a presence there and have any thoughts on what we could do?
So I can go either way. I guess one, we're talking about a whole nother year, right? So I guess that's a little bit of a bummer, but I think just the general traffic with the Yankee Doodle Parade, assuming they have it, is worthwhile. And I guess it's just some visibility, if nothing else. Like I know we don't have any information readily available to share with people, but do we want to at least like have a presence there just to let people know we exist and what we're trying to do?
Where would we go?
Well, I guess I don't know the specific answer to that, but I mean, I think there's lots of things that are along the parade route. Is that not something you can do?
I don't know. I don't know how it works. I
I am fully tied up with Yankee Doodle activity, so I'm unavailable to do anything today. But I've worked with the LRTA to get the bus in the parade and a spot that the bus can be displayed and things like that. I think if you want to provide a quiet space, it's a great idea. The right way to publicize it is to get into the Yankee Doodle brochure, which is probably already at, at the printer. And how you want to do it is you want to work with the Yankee Doodle committee, beginning at least probably about 6 months before the event, so next March or so, and you can both get a table and get what you want to do into the brochure. So it's a great idea, but the toughest thing I think will be to find people who have the time to man a table. And I
Well,
doubt
I
that
could man a table. I could sit there and man a table. I don't mind.
That's fine with me. That's not an issue. So
I don't know if they've got any table space left, but you could quickly contact them to do that.
Where are the tables, Andrew? Where are they set up?
Not sure how they're going to do it this year.
no, I don't either. No.
The parade is not going down Boston Road for obvious reasons, but will be headed down River Street. Most of the tables were.
That's going to be tough.
I think so, but I think they still wanted the a parade, and I'm about 3 weeks overdue in checking in with the LRTA to see if they get everything straight. But last year they were in the uh, parking lot to the west of Town Hall and the police department entrance to the old thing. So you went downtown Tom Glavine Way, and you came upon that big parking lot, and that's where they put most of the table, the food vendors, and so forth.
Okay.
Getting back to that whole subject, since we were talking about that, I spoke to Sandra Giroux, and she'd love to have a few people from the committee on the show that she does. So she would like to see someone who has a visual disability, like Arthur, and someone who has a non-visual disability, let's just say like myself. And for us to come up with some ideas or some questions that she would like for us to ask, which would also help us with a brochure.
Okay.
So we can maybe simmer on that. Something for the
When would it
upcoming month
be?
meeting.
When
I
would it
don't
be?
know yet. That's something we need to discuss. Do we have something let's come up with some questions, because I can just say, hey, when are you available? When do you have a slot for us? So we have to work together with them. But I think first we need to come up with a mission statement, who we are, what we do, what is our purpose, how are we able to help people? So that
Well,
might be
we
something
have
we
that on
want
our
to look
website,
into.
right?
I don't know what's on the website
Well, it's a
right now.
lot, but we could trim it down to be a little more
Correct.
concise.
Right. And then the questions, how can we help people? If we can't help them, do we have the contact? So these are some questions maybe we could simmer on and think about, so we can actually start getting out there to the public, get our brochures working, and then maybe we want to do a support group.
Yeah.
When we're on BATV, say, hey, we would like to do a support group. BATV has a conference room we can work. If we can get into it, I don't know about it. So I've never been to the new BATV. I don't know where it is. So do we
It's right
know
on
where?
Boston Road. Yeah, I think I've driven past it. Not
Yeah.
far.
Is this the time to do it with all the construction together? Is it going to be difficult for people to get around there? So these are things we can start thinking about. Do we want to take a vote on it? I don't know how that works. So
I guess minimally, I'd like to know, and I know we don't have everybody here, but who's interested in being on that program? Who's willing to do it?
I'd be willing.
Okay.
I'm willing. I mean, whoever is willing,
Perfect.
the more the merrier.
Donna,
You can have 3
Jan?
more people. Who can hold
Donna
this
loves it. I think she wants to be the first one. Yeah, all right. So that's Art and Maria. That's great if you guys are willing to do that, because that's a big first step. Like, okay, we have 2 people who are willing to kind of put the word out. So I think what we need from Sandra is sort of some context, like, how would she do it? How do we prepare for that?
Yeah, I'll see her Sunday, and I'll say, why don't you come up with a list of questions that you would ask, and then we can post them. When I get them, we can post them, and then we can come up with. I'd like to be prepared when we get there, so we're not, well, I don't know. I'd like to have an outline.
What's the list of questions for?
So Sandra will ask us, okay, who is on the committee? What does the committee do?
Okay.
A list of questions that
So you
she
want
would
a
ask.
list of questions that she's going to ask?
he's gonna ask, so
Okay.
we can answer and be prepared. So we don't look
Gotcha.
like, so we don't look like a fool as a group. And I'm not saying we would, but just so we have it together.
I would
So,
suggest
Okay.
that before asking Sandra what the format and so forth of the show is, that you take
exactly.
30 minutes and watch a copy of the show in the BATV archive.
So, what is the format? What do you ask? How long is it? How long are your questions? How long are your answers? So we can at least prepare.
I think that's a good idea. Just pulling up some of the previous shows and getting a sense of what it's like.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So basically, we need to do some planning on this one. So
Correct. So
Sounds
between
like we
all
need to
of
do a
us
little
and
homework. We need to
Sandra,
get some info from Sandra.
right, I'll get that info from her.
Hmm.
okay. So basically, popping back the stack back up. We don't want to try to do anything for Yankee Doodle this year. Sounds like,
Yeah.
But we need to make so we need to start planning for next year.
Absolutely.
Okay. Next item I've got is Maria wanting to talk about possible disability meet and greet in September.
That depends. We might have to hold that off until we see what's happening with BATV. That way we could get the word out.
Okay.
So let's put that on hold.
Okay.
Do we want to kind of talk about what that meet and greet would look like?
What do we want it to look like? We are the committee.
What do we want it to meet?
Do we want to discuss it? Have everybody come up and say who they are, or how do we want to do it? What is a meet and greet like? We all say hello, how are you? Have something to drink, have a conversation about
Yeah,
who we are and what we
yeah, right. Because
want.
we're just trying to connect with other people in the town, right? Who we don't know,
Correct.
who our
So,
residents are with disabilities. So
yeah, that's it.
yeah, I think we just
Meet
sort
our
of
residents. Yeah,
set
basically.
up a
Yeah.
location and define a time and sort of just invite people to come in. And, yeah, we can have some food and drink. That'd be great.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, absolutely.
I need to think
All
about
people
where
with
we would do it.
disabilities.
What?
We need to think about where we would do it.
Possibly BATV?
Yeah,
I guess.
they said they had an accessible. It was accessible.
I don't know. We'd have to find an accessible space.
Right.
I mean, I would volunteer St. Anne's Church because it has a ramp and it has a kitchen. I'm sure they wouldn't have a problem if we wanted to do it there. I don't know,
Yeah.
because they do, NA, AA, they have meetings there all the time.
Yeah.
So I mean, but that's up to people. I don't know where else to do it that has a ramp. It's the only place I know.
I don't see anything wrong with that. Like, I
Yeah.
think we could probably do more than one of these, right? Like, you know, I think we do need a way to get the word out. I agree with you on that.
Yes,
But I'm just trying to
absolutely.
sort of paint the picture of, you know, what we could do. And so if there's a place like a church or, you know, other public area where we could just
Yeah.
sort of, you know, reserve it for a little period of time. And what do we
Yep.
do about food and drinks? How is there a way to go about that?
Well, I mean,
We can always go to BJ's or Costco's or Market Basket and pick up a case of water, you know, and some snacks, and I can leave it in the church. Put my name on it, put it in the back. So when the time comes, it would already be there, you know?
Yeah.
Like to
Does the commission have
Kansas
any
City.
budget for that kind of thing, or are we?
We have
Yeah.
we have definitely got plenty of funds,
Yeah.
so we could definitely do,
Yeah. Correct.
you know,
Mhm.
some
Yeah.
some amount
Have
of
the money for it.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
might be sort of just trying to get a sense of who do we expect, like, just to avoid
I don't
buying a bunch of food that doesn't get
really
eaten, you know?
can't. We don't know.
Yep.
We can't answer that. So, like tomorrow night, St. Anne's is doing a game night for the whole town or anybody that wants to show up. So we got snacks and water. We're gonna have different games. We're gonna have a raffle, and whoever shows up is how we do it, you know. So
I think there would be some value of at least targeting the initial invitations and make sure people like special ed educators are invited to it.
yeah,
I don't know the other agencies in town that are providing services, but I'm sure they would be interested.
yes, absolutely, absolutely.
I see the A's taking the autistic people shopping all the time. So maybe if I see them one time, I can have a brochure, a piece of paper that says, "Hey, you know, from their organization, we're having a meet and greet." You know, yeah, absolutely. Then they'll work at pediatrics. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. Noisy in the background here. I hope that doesn't get too loud. Um, so anything else on that? Your social media presence. I know you and Maria were working on it, Jason. And got the message from Nina earlier that she didn't have an update on the social media, but she's going to try to get that pinned down.
Right.
So we can't do anything without permission.
Right.
So
Yeah,
unless we get
maybe. So I guess I was looking around just to see if other communities have these things, and they do. So there's like Commission on Disabilities for a bunch of different towns. There's groups like, and I'm not just talking about Massachusetts either, and talking about different places in the country. So certainly there's a way to do it. Like, I don't think we're unique. I was just kind of looking at how they set those pages up and you know, what's on there and that kind of thing. And so it seems like it's pretty easy to at least get something started, right? Even if you have to make changes to it or something. So So
Yeah.
Tina can get back to us with something like, but I honestly, I'm not really too worried about it. I can kind of set it up and keep it private for the moment. And then, you know, if we get the go ahead from Dina, then I think we're good.
Okay.
Just an FYI, I got the email up and running. I was able to get the security for it. So I'm on it. I'm working on it. Every time I'm still trying to go through the junk. But I mean, I'm going to say that Stephen had some good resources like the National Institute of Mental Health or the Social Security Department, the Autism Society, all those type of things. Are those something that we want to keep for information?
Well, I mean, you're the one working the email. If you want to try to stay subscribed to them, great. If not, we may want to just kind of have a, put links to them on our website or social media as possible sources of interest or whatever. I don't know how to, I don't know how best to
I mean,
put it.
I would like to stay subscribed. You never know what's coming down the pipe,
Right.
you know, for that.
Mhm.
But all the other junk, I'm still going through
Okay.
daily. But there's nothing that was actually sent to us from anybody in town. So
Okay. Uh, and let's see. Actually, at the top, at the website, uh, we still have a phone number on the web page. I'm just looking at it right now, but it looks like it's just a generic town number. So presumably, if it rings the town manager's office and if somebody sees something, they can relay the message to one of us. We don't really have a working system yet, but anyways, going back up, we have the note from Dina that says that Darlene's application is on the agenda for Monday's meeting.
What was that meeting? Isn't it in November?
The next select board meeting, it looks like, is when they're going to have Darlene's application going up for consideration.
Okay. And what is her last name?
I've got it somewhere.
Tori, Torr.
Torre, I think.
Yeah.
Darlene. Okay.
Yeah,
Just so I know.
Torre.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Account finances. We have presumably money still. I have not gotten anything from the town treasurer's office. So just no report.
what's the budget now?
What I'm saying is I don't think
Oh.
I haven't gotten any info from the treasurer's office lately, but last time you had about 13K.
Okay. So I can,
So
sounds
you
good.
don't have anything there.
So we definitely have enough for snacks, and we definitely have enough to make brochures and do what we need to do. I
Right.
think financially we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have next item, approval of July minutes. And that would have to be, I think, Maria. Oh, wait a second. Go down here. Yeah. So has anybody had a chance to look at the minutes I sent out with the agenda from?
Yeah, look good.
They look good.
Okay. So do we have a motion to approve?
I approve the minutes for July.
I second it.
Okay. Everybody in favor?
I
Opposed?
While we're here, can anybody get on? I'm on the town of Billerica and I have no idea how to get to where I need to go. Oh, here we go. To find any of the commissions. Do we know where it's located?
I've got Town of Billerica, Mass, USO. It says /182, whatever that is, Commission on Disabilities.
Let's do Commission on Disabilities.
Yeah. You think you go under town government? You're on the town site. I think you go into government.
I think I got it. Under. It's not very accessible, I must say. Here we go.
I agree. The town website's a little tough to navigate.
Yeah.
Especially if you can't see. I guess I want someone to actually look at the mission statement while we have dispersed. So
Okay.
for now,
Let me go back up to
to see
the.
if people would like to change.
If you go under the town government, then under there you have the commissions. I
Commission
found
on
it.
Disabilities. There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Mission. The mission of the Commission on Disabilities is to bring about full and equal participation of people with disabilities in all aspects of life. Okay, that's very vague for me. Does anybody agree?
Well, it's a mission statement. Yeah, they're not usually all that specific. There's more there though.
The commission is an advisory group of Billerica residents deeply concerned about disability issues. Some of the ways the commission developed administrative. Okay. Is this something we want to? We should get the senior center off. The senior center will, no. That's something we should remove. I'm not going to put that in the brochure.
Where are you seeing?
Helpful and important phone numbers is emergency 911, Roadrunner, Billerica Public Library, and then the senior center.
Okay.
Where are you looking? I'm not seeing it.
Just down the bottom.
Oh, down the bottom. Gotcha.
Right. Yeah. Can we think of any other numbers or any other? No, the police department. Well, that's 911.
Helpful with what?
Helpful.
And I
phone
guess
number.
I don't know how much time we should spend worrying about the website, because just getting the
No,
telephone
I'm
number
looking at
removed
it.
has been months of work,
Exactly.
and still not happened.
So I'm just going through that. Is this maybe something we want to take this web page and use this as our brochure? And do we want to maybe use it for some of the answers to the questions? Just
Yeah,
using
I
it as
think
a guide.
if if Sandra's going to ask, like, what's the intent of the commission, and we, should say something
Yeah.
similar to what's on the website.
Exactly.
Otherwise it's not correct, right?
Yeah.
Because
Um,
I could make
and then
a
in
mock.
the terms of the brochure, I think we could leverage most of it. Probably
Okay.
some more recent things you could probably speak to, and you don't have to put everything.
Okay. So maybe I'll just play around and make a brochure. And
Yeah.
just to see what we can come up with,
Yeah.
if that's okay. But that's all I wanted to discuss, so we don't have to go into it tonight.
Yeah, we'll
But just,
probably have to check it. So I'm just looking at some of the stuff that's on here, and it mentions handicap access improvements, and the middle bullet there is children, and it mentions lower phones. I'm not sure what that's referring to. And then water
I
fountains.
don't even.
And water fountains is interesting because there was when we were at Colrush Park there about, like, what some of the improvements could be, and somebody asked about having a water fountain, and the answer was no. It was too difficult to maintain, and so they don't put them in anymore. And I thought, I was a little surprised at that, but I guess we can't really say we advocate for water fountains when the town is saying we're
And
not going to do it.
that phones thing is old too. That's gonna be referring to payphones.
That's what I thought, but I don't know.
So I guess my question is new parents' carriages. I don't think we should be providing carriages for people.
No, they mean access. So the carriages could go on ramp. People that are using carriages also need access.
Yeah, but that's not a disabled thing. Why would that be part of disabilities?
But they have it listed as individuals who have benefited by handicap access improvements include.
Oh, okay. I didn't read that. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Basically, it's
I
called
don't-
all these tabs running around, taking advantage of the stuff that we fought for, and I'm glad to see them doing it because that makes it easier for us to sell it. But
Okay, I was just wondering, I didn't read the full thing, so that's my fault. I apologize for that.
right, I'd probably try and reword some of it, but it's it's not a bad idea.
But minimally, Maria, if you want to take what's there and just sort of organize it in a brochure type of way,
Yeah.
we could then, edit it as needed.
Yeah,
I
that's what I
think it's
plan on
something to
doing.
start with.
Right, that's why I wanted to ask for you to look at it and see if this would be something we could start with. So, yep. Because I did the last brochure, but I don't know where any of that stuff is, so.